Hello everyone, this is the Duke, and I'm bringing to you another game. Wow, this is the fourth game I've done today. Today's Friday, by the way, if you're watching this on Saturday or something. Anyways, we have another Utah player. His name is Sidewinder. This is actually Sidewinder right here. And you've seen him. You saw him in that series where he played against Chemist, and man, he was awesome, wasn't he? He did unfortunately lose that game, but he managed to did manage to take the series after that game. Anyways, spawning in the bottom left, we have a random opponent that he met on ladder, LGDeCypheR. And spawning in the top right, we have our local Utah hero as the blue Protoss, Sidewinder. Now, for those of you who don't know, he's talking about Halo, like the planet Sidewinder in Halo, like from what's it called, Red versus Blue, where the guy's like, "Here, it's really fucking cold out there," you know. Anyways, and that's funny that they're red and blue, but I guess that is a ladder thing. See, Halo. So it looks like Sidewinder's going to be doing a Forge Fast Expand, a fairly common technique on this map against Zerg too. This is Daybreak, by the way, and it's really good on this map simply because this is not a good amount of ramp to have to, or well, area square footage, I guess, to have to wall off. So it's completely possible for him to do this. Now it looks like our Zerg player was doing a bit of a 12, well, actually a 14 pool to be precise. A gasless pool opening. He might do his gas in just a bit. And Sidewinder is scouting him. He does see that he doesn't have gas, so he is going to be delayed on speedlings, which gives Sidewinder a little bit of leeway as to what to do. And that's actually really good for Sidewinder, because it'll give him more time to get this wall up before speedlings run in, which actually there won't be speedlings. In fact, he has still not dropped any gas. I think he's probably going to drop a hatch pretty soon, but nonetheless, we're not going to see any speedlings for a good amount of time, which is good. For Sidewinder in this case, he did drop his Nexus, as this is a Forge Fast Expand, and shortly we'll soon see the gateway. There's the cannon. Now, as far as I know, Sidewinder is a Masters League player, and I would imagine that LG is as well. And for all I know, like, this might actually be a famous player, like LG. I don't know if like LG sponsors a team or whatever. I don't know, but regardless. So there's the hatchery. Again, still no gas, so we shouldn't see too much aggression. And he did see that the lings are on the way, so he is going to prepare for this accordingly. This cannon just finished, and these lings, he'll probably be able to get a run by with one of the lings at least into the main, which won't be a huge issue as he does have a fair amount of probes here that he can transfer. So LGDeCypheR is now just scouting, and he sees, oh man, he went Forge Fast Expand on me. So I think he's just deciding what to do next from here. And he's going to siphon another probe that just, oh no, probe manages to get away. So at this moment he is going to drop the Cybernex core, and this looks like a tight wall, and actually I might be wrong about that. I think there's a space right there, but anyway, he is sending this probe out to do some scouting. And interestingly enough, LGDeCypheR has done a double expand off of this, which, you know, is the logical decision to make, because as Zerg you want to be ahead. You want to be at least one base ahead of Protoss virtually all of the time, simply just because once Protoss gets to that 3 bases, it's really hard to kill them. But nonetheless, he is on 3 bases. Still no gas. So I imagine he's probably... It's hard to say what his strategy is going to be at this moment. A massive drone transfer over to this base. If you look at the income tab, Sidewinder is still ahead. And it's only because this base is just yet to kick in. And Sidewinder does see that there is, in fact, a 3rd base here. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of aggression Sidewinder decides to take in response to... what's going on here. And he has dropped a Stargate. Generally, when you see a Stargate with only one gateway, when you see a Stargate, it's generally a Void Ray, for that one base Void Ray harass. Or, you know, it could also be a Phoenix too, I suppose, because Phoenix is to clean up the Overlords. Although typically, when I've seen the same build done, I've seen Void Rays. So I'm intrigued to see what's happening. He does have 2 gases up on his main, and he did just start his other 2 assimilators right there. And it looks like this wall-in is a tight wall-in, so no Zerglings will be able to get in, which is I think he's actually okay with that, as he has chosen to go air weapons level 1 first. So we'll probably see some Sky Protoss play. I'm hoping to see like a mothership and some carriers, just because I heart carriers. Now, anyways, now Sidewinder has dropped his gas. He does have double gas, triple gas actually, on his out of his 3 bases, Evo Chamber and a Roach Warren. And this is kind of an unfortunate position for him to be in, although he is going to see this Void Ray first. And this Void Ray is going to be able to snipe this Overlord. And this is actually going to supply block LGDeCypheR for a bit. Just a couple seconds, really, until this next Overlord finishes. Another Overlord is peeking in here, and he is going to end up chasing this and sniping this one too, which will actually, he is preparing for this and has built 2 more Overlords in preparation for this. Now, another Void Ray is coming out, as well as 2 more Stargates. So, yeah, we are going to see some heavy Sky Protoss, or Fleet Protoss, really, as I've started calling them. Some heavy Fleet Protoss play. Now, Spore Crawlers are going up in the various bases. We have a Spore Crawler right there. Spore Crawlers by the 3rd. I don't know where the 4th one is. Oh, there's the 4th one. So he's actually, his window of being able to harass is running out quite quickly. And interestingly enough, no other forms of tech have gone down for LG yet. He does have more queens at his bases. However, he doesn't have a Hydra Den, and nor does he have infestors or corruptors or anything. So pretty much he's going to have to rely on queens and spore crawlers to defend his bases. Now, there are only 2 Void Rays on the field, which is easily stoppable by the queens, especially because these 2 queens with the creep spread are going to be able to get into the main base awfully quickly. But now this is also pretty common too, to bring a Phoenix or 2 along, because the Phoenix, the Phoenix is good for lifting up a queen, and then the Void Ray snipe the queen. Now, Phoenixes are not any good against Spore Crawlers whatsoever, but that's not their intention. Their intention is to harass Overlords and pick up queens, as queens are the only unit that Sidewinder has that LG has to defend with here, and queens actually are awfully effective against Void Rays. Well, I wouldn't say they're awfully effective, but considering the limited attack capabilities of queens, they are good against preventing Void Rays, especially when this queen actually does have enough energy to do a transfuse, so he will be able to protect. Now, there's a healthy amount of Void Rays here, and a good amount of Phoenixes too. In fact, to be precise, there's 3 Phoenixes, which are the only Phoenixes really that he has to worry about at this moment. Now, he is going straight for the lair. Really good choice there, as the lair is really the only form of tech that he has. Now, these Phoenixes are going to pick up the queens, and he is going to be able to snipe a lot of these queens. So there goes down. 1 queen goes down. Now, I think there was more queens here than he was initially intending, and I think he should, Sidewinder should be picking up these queens. Yeah, just like that. Yep, and now sniping the Overlord. So he is going to end up taking down this lair. However, there's a good amount of roaches here, which, you know, roaches can't shoot up, so Void Rays is actually a great choice here to counter these roaches, especially because Void Rays do extra damage to the queens. Now it looks like, yeah, he is going to snipe the spawning pool too, which is actually, so we won't see any Zerglings, but then again, he didn't go for Zergling speed or anything. In fact, I think the amount of damage he causes is actually really good. So he is choosing to micro down a lot of these roaches. Really good choice there, as that really is the only form of aggression that he has right now. Hydras are on the way, additionally, as with Infestors. In fact, we have 6 Infestors on the way. Pathogen Glance is about to finish. Now, Burrow was unable to finish. So if he's not careful with his Infestors, they can get very quickly sniped by the Void Rays, or even picked up by the Phoenixes, which would be even worse. Sidewinder has taken his 3rd base, and he's cannoned himself in, as he does have the income to do so at the moment. And it looks like LG is going to be moving out across. He's got to expect that there's a third base was put up behind that extremely aggressive push. Now, these Infestors, they each have a good amount of energy too. They can each do a fungal and drop a couple of infested Terran. So if he changes fungals together correctly, he can actually snipe this entire force of Void Rays. However, the Phoenixes will make things difficult, as they will be able to pick up each one of the Infestors, because the Infestors are still not burrowed yet. Additionally, the Hydras are off creep, so they're not going to be... he has to move out with this force. And there are a bunch of turrets here, probably way more cannons than he was expecting to find, or really even expecting any cannons at all. And he is going to be picking... great fungal on the Phoenixes. However, the Phoenixes aren't the units he needs to be using the fungals on. he really needs to be using the fungals on the Void Rays there, and he is going to pick up the Phoenixes, pick up each one of the Infestors, which, and he's, interestingly enough, okay, good. So, now if you notice, he actually is going for the Infestors with the most amount of energy, as those ones are the valuable ones. And just like that, all the Infestors are down. A huge loss for LG at this moment in time. Now, he is choosing to go pretty heavy on Hydralisk, and he has started a Burrow again. However, there are no Infestors on the field currently, which is actually not a really good position for him to be in, as there are quite a few Phoenixes here, and those Phoenixes can very quickly pick up those Hydras. Now, if you notice, well, everyone knows this, Hydras are considered a light unit, so the Phoenixes are actually going to do extra damage against the Hydras. In fact, they do 11 damage per shot, so basically 4 shots from a Phoenix kills a Hydra. Not really a good position to be in, especially because he doesn't have any Infestors. The Infestors won't, without Infestors, there's no Fungals, and the Fungals are extremely important to making sure that the Phoenixes don't pick up these very, very squishy Hydras. Oh man, I asked for it and I got it. There are some carriers out on the field, which is really just going to make this situation just even more difficult for LG here. Now, no tech has been researched yet, no Graviton Catapult or Anion Pulse Crystals. And LG just barely got his 4th base up, although he's not mining from it yet. And we do see some more Infestors. And he is going for Roach Tech with the Tunneling Claws, and I think he's going to try and tunnel in somewhere, but I'm not sure where he's going to be able to get in, as this is a tight wall, and there's 4 cannons, so they're going to be able to see everything. Additionally, he is going to be able, these cannons will also be able to protect this this 3rd base from any possible burrowed Roach aggression. But again, we'll see what he does. These guys are the Masters players. I'm not. I'm just a lowly gold player who watches a lot of games. +2 air weapons have been started for Sidewinder. They're just barely starting, whereas +2 missile is almost finished, as well as Hydra range. Now, the Hydra range is extremely important for the Hydras so that they can more quickly take down the Phoenixes before the Phoenixes have a chance to get too close and just kill everything. And man, this is just a terrifying fleet. Like, as far as supply goes, he does have quite a bit of supply invested in these Hydras, and there are a lot of Hydras. However, this air army is just looking scarier by the second. So it looks like he is going to push towards the 3rd base, where incidentally Sidewinder keeps his entire force. And so it'll be really interesting to see how this battle goes down. So here's the engagement, and he is going to move in. And I imagine he's going to pick up all the Hydras first. Now the Hydras are actually in range of the Phoenixes, and unfortunately the one fungal that the Infestor could do was not enough to finish off those Hydras. So he is going to be able to very easily clean up this force and momentarily disrupt mining, while these carriers and Void Rays manage to clean up whatever force is left. So very impressive play there. There's still a couple of units burrowed in the middle line, so they are going to be able to get in there and at least cause a little bit of trouble. And again, LG still hasn't started mining on this 4th base, which he really needs to be doing if he's going to keep producing Hydras or really anything else. He does have 18 Hydras on the way, and additionally there is a Spire, so we'll see some Corruptors, which is absolutely necessary to his survival at this point in time. Now, as far as Sidewinder, he has dropped a bunch more gateways. He's actually transitioning into gateway tech as he is just finishing charge, and he also does have a Templar Archives for a Psionic Storm, as well as a Robo. So I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to force the Zerg player to overreact to this kind of aggression, to this fleet Protoss aggression that he has going on, which is actually a really smart tactic, as fleet Protoss will get wrecked by Corruptors and Hydras. However, if he loses that force, but yet he really needs to take a 4th base, which he is doing at this moment. If he loses that force, he actually has all the infrastructure necessary to go into gateway tech. He doesn't have Blink yet, but that doesn't matter, because I think he actually has quite a few Archons in this force too. And Archons do extra damage to every single Zerg unit. In fact, they do 39 damage with his +1 attack, that is, to every single Zerg unit. Now, a couple Corruptors are on the way, and this is a scary amount of Hydras, but still there's only one Infestor on the field at the moment, and that Infestor is not going to be tremendously helpful. So here's the engagement. The Archons are going to go first. as the Archons can tank a lot of really good damage. And I think Sidewinder's just going to take this. Like, the carriers haven't even been touched. All these Phoenixes are still alive. Most of the a lot of the Void Rays were. And there isn't the GG. There was just the Rage. So congratulations to Sidewinder for taking this game. And we don't see a whole lot of games with Fleet Protoss going in and just wrecking house. And this really just goes to show you, like, you know, he decided to stay with layer tech. And it's not to say that Hydras are a bad unit. It's just Hydras aren't a good unit to take on carriers. Which he did see the carriers, but I think once he started seeing Void Rays, he really should have put up his Spire a little bit sooner to get more Corruptors. 6 were about to pop, but 6 Corruptors is going to get easily killed by this very scary force. But regardless, these are the master players. I'm not. Congratulations to Sidewinder, and I hope you enjoyed this game. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you see Sidewinder, tell him grats. So thanks for watching, guys.